We saw another round of Bundesliga action wrap up today. Leipzig taking on Cologne. Leipzig winning by 4-2. Here to reflect on that game with me, Shaka, Hislop, Craig, Burley, and we'll start with Jan Fjortoft. Jan, Leipzig putting on a bit of a show again. They're fun to watch, that is for sure.
They're a great team to watch, and they have one of the most promising managers, as you know, Julian Nagelsmann. Although Cologne took the lead, they got some good goal scorers in their team as well, but then RB Leipzig just went over them. They came back Cologne at 3-2, but it was straight away they went up and scored the next goal. So that was a great win of RB Leipzig. As you're saying, slowly they're taking the position as maybe, and I think that must be the next goal now, to be the main challenge to Bayern Munich, because Dortmund showed in the week that they will have trouble doing it again.
It was quite a hectic second half in particular, Craig.
Yeah, it was, and the thing is with Leipzig, they as entertaining as they are going forward, they will always, I think, give you chances at the other end, and we saw that with the Cologne goals. We saw that with the chance with Modeste at the end that he missed. He may or may not have been offside. So they do play a kind of open game at times, but this fight is on for the Champions League places. It's condensed now. We know Bayern Munich are probably going to win the league, apart from a technicality at the moment. And so it's a bun fight for the Champions League places. And to go back to Jan's point, the problem with challenging Bayern Munich, and I know it's something we'll probably talk on at some point, is other clubs coming in to pilfer your best players. And I think that's a big problem, and your manager as well, by the way. So I think that's a huge issue for them going forward.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But first, let's reflect on Leipzig a little more, Shaka. 16-1 to win the Champions League. Let's not forget they're in the last 8 after that 2-legged victory against Spurs. Would you go anywhere near that?
No, listen, 16-1, albeit in the last 8 is decent odds for RB Leipzig. But I think everybody touched on how good they are going forward. I think part of that excitement and their Achilles heel is their youth. I just don't see them winning this. Not even in the longest of shots.
Jan?
Well, RB Leipzig, I think for those of us who love both the Premier League and the Bundesliga, I think that RB Leipzig showing Tottenham, Bayern Munich showing Chelsea in the Champions League, well, that was a kind of wake-up call for some Premier League fans. Having said that, I mean, I like the philosophy of Red Bull, what they're doing. They always look for, if you go through that team, you will know about Werner, you know about Sabitzer because he played well against Tottenham, and then you will start struggling how many players you know in this team. So I like the philosophy of RB Leipzig. They have a way of playing that they are under threat in Germany because of the Red Bull connection and that 51 ownership kind of thing in Germany. But it's a great team to watch, and let's see how many players they will keep now in the summer.
They're the team, though, you'd want, isn't it, Craig, though, in the quarterfinals?
Yeah, and Jan's correct. They easily disposed of Tottenham, and Bayern Munich did so of Chelsea, but I don't think it's a reflection on the Premier League. And I said that at the time. Bayern are Germany's top team by quite a way, and Chelsea are clearly not at the moment. And in terms of RB Leipzig, they were just too good for a pretty poor Tottenham side. We've discussed Tottenham since Mourinho took over, and they've been 1 step forward and 2 steps backwards. So I think this Leipzig side, if they went in against the real big boys and they were up to speed, I think would just be left a little bit exposed. And I don't see them getting anywhere. If this competition finds its way all the way to the end, I don't think they'll be there or thereabouts.
Meanwhile, Jan, it was your post-match interview, wasn't it, with Timo Werner talking about his future, where there was no real secret of the fact that Liverpool very high on his priority when it comes to his career. Suggestions are, though, that Chelsea are looking to intervene and persuade him to go to London instead. The big factor being is saying, look, if you come to Chelsea, we can offer you a place in the starting 11. Liverpool can't guarantee that, Jan.
Well, first of all, I'm impressed if Chelsea knows the strategy of Liverpool Football Club. That is point one. And secondly, it's right. I was doing that interview with Werner, and I couldn't believe it, how open he was, that he wanted to play for Liverpool. But I think we should say he wants to play for Klopp. And we know that they have been talking. We know that they have used Zoom or Skype or whatever they've used. They've talked to each other in this Corona time. So let's see what's happening. I think that the financial situation after Corona is anyone's guess. That Chelsea, waiting now to buy players, are interested in getting Timo Werner. That is not a surprise. I can see them trying to tempt him going there. I think it's quite clear that Timo Werner this summer will leave RB Leipzig. And Bayern have said, we don't want him. And then he said, I don't want to go to Bayern. And then forward and back. So I can see him moving abroad. And I think still the favorite will be Liverpool. But Chelsea, Manchester United, there are teams in for him that will probably also try to get him.
Craig, how much of a factor would it be, though, if you couldn't be guaranteed playing time? You couldn't guarantee a place in the starting 11. Yes, Liverpool obviously are a much better prospect than Chelsea at the moment, but surely as a player you want to play.
But you want to back yourself as a player as well, and you want to, you'll have a manager there in Klopp who will be very enthusiastic in trying to sell the platform to him. Look, it clearly, when the three of us played, it was you played on a Saturday, you played on a Wednesday, you expected to play on a Saturday again if you were playing well enough. And that just continued. If you got told you were left out the side, you knew it wasn't for a resting purpose. You were dropped. But the game has changed, and the game is now about squads, and you've got to have a deep squad and a quality squad. And I think Klopp can sell this to Timo Werner that Sadio Mane and Mo Salah and Roberto Firmino, who've carried the load for Liverpool, are not going to play 50, 60 games a year going forward. So in that sense, Liverpool's a great place to go from. I'm not surprised Chelsea would be interested. He ticks every box for Chelsea. He can play wide. They've got wide players, I know that. He can play through the middle. He works hard. His movement is good. He presses the ball when he's not got it. It absolutely makes sense for them. But if I had a choice at the moment and the manager was selling with the club and the club was on the top of its game, then it's Liverpool. And then you back yourself for game time.
Shaq?
Yeah, listen, I understand Chelsea's approach, and I think it's a correct one in trying to tempt Timo Werner away from the clutches of Liverpool, offer him game time. Every single player wants to be assured of that starting position. I think the difference here, and Jan mentioned, is in Jurgen Klopp and how good he has been with relating to players. And if he can somehow sell this to Werner, then it makes perfect sense. Sell it in the sense that you've got a starting three who right now will be the preferred three, whether Werner comes in or not, but they're all similarly aged. They can't play the amount of football that maybe they once did, or you expect Liverpool to be playing in this upcoming season. And Werner will get a healthy share of games and of the big games. And then come next season, then you figure he's going to grow on those numbers and he's going to be better established. And as Craig rightly points out, pound for pound, club for club, it's an easy answer. It's Liverpool.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.